So you have Dwayne Johnson, my favorite wrestler of all time and one of my favorite actors, period. And he's starring in a superhero movie? This one should have been right up my alley. Black Adam was directed by Jaume Collet-Serra, who also brought you last year's Jungle Cruise, a very fun movie, and it stars frequent collaborator with Serra, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who also starred in Jungle Cruise last year, and here he is in a role 15 years in the making for him, apparently, according to his Instagram. So that means that Black Adam was sort of stuck in development hell for a while, and with a DC Extended Universe that's sort of kind of on its deathbed with the creative projects and what have you, Black Adam was looking to be the saving grace. In ancient Kahndaq, 10th Adam was bestowed the almighty powers of the gods, and after using these powers for vengeance, he was imprisoned, becoming Black Adam, who's now played by Dwayne Johnson. And nearly 5,000 years have passed, and Black Adam has gone from man to myth to rock-solid legend. Now free, his unique form of justice, born out of rage, is challenged by modern-day heroes who form the Justice Society. Now, I was excited for this movie mainly because The Rock is in a superhero movie, basically. And I can tell you that, no surprise, he is definitely the shining bright spot in Black Adam. Now, my brother Jake, who I saw the movie with, as we were leaving the theater, he basically was like, man, The Rock's back must be hurting by how much he was carrying this. And I was like, I mean, I guess that's not fair to a couple of other actors who I'll talk about who I really liked. But here's the thing that I really respected about The Rock as a performer in this. Yeah, he's definitely great in the action sequences. This should be no surprise. While I'm at it, these action sequences, really fun. And the CGI and the lightning everywhere, it looks like a gigantic superhero epic extravaganza. And Dwayne Johnson is selling every bit of this character as a fish out of water, basically. But the thing is, this is a very different performance from The Rock. Dare I say, it's ironically enough, very stone cold. All my fellow wrestling fans will certainly get that one. He doesn't really flash a smile one time in this movie, really, on recollection. It's a very stoic performance, and I really respected The Rock for taking something so different for his repertoire now. Literally the most electrifying man in entertainment right now. I'll stop there. But in the acting department, I also really enjoyed Aldis Hodge as Hawkman, and I'm very happy to say that, because I love Aldis Hodge. I think he's one of the most underrated performers out there right now. And I'm glad that he got to show his stuff in a superhero movie. He was such a badass. He just oozes cool every single time he's on screen. His character design is also really neat. Kind of like a Captain America / Sam Wilson / Falcon meets Wonder Woman 1984, but it still feels like its own unique creation. It really does feel super badass. I loved Hawkman in this, as I did Dr. Fate, played by the great Pierce Brosnan. Great performance as well. The action sequences in this movie are really fun. And not to mention, you get a lot of really fun choices for the soundtrack in Black Adam as well. And I'm not going to give all of them away, but when you hear one that comes up right at the end of the first act, should be really friggin' obvious. Atom Smasher and Cyclone round out the Justice Society group, and I don't know if it's just me, but if you look at Atom Smasher as a character, it's basically if you merged Spider-Man's colors, Ant-Man's ability to turn giant, and Deadpool's mask. And then, of course, simmer down the cursing on Deadpool, and then you have Atom Smasher. Yeah, that's starting to get into my problems with Black Adam, because unfortunately, I don't think this movie is as good as the DC Extended Universe wanted it to be. Don't get me wrong. There are certainly a lot of very fun elements, and I would not mind watching Black Adam again, but I feel like one thing that's going to hold the movie back first and foremost are the derivative story elements. Yeah, I just compared one of its characters to 3 iconic Marvel characters, but that's not all. Black Adam basically has to save this young boy in the present from this evildoer who's looking for this old artifact just to get all the power, and I'm not even shitting you, it's literally just the Terminator and John Connor in Judgment Day. Like, it's literally the exact same sort of plot. And it doesn't really help that unfortunately this young boy and his mom character for that matter, not really that interesting. Not even like these characters were annoying or anything like that, but just, I don't know, it just felt like another Terminator John Connor dynamic. Like, Dwayne Johnson just felt like he was protecting this kid throughout the whole movie, and Dwayne Johnson plays an anti-hero. And that's kind of indicative of a larger problem. Black Adam has so much going on for a 2-hour runtime, and it takes about a quarter of the movie or so for it to really figure out what it's all about. And once it does find its footing, it's really, really fun. But unfortunately, this movie takes a little bit too long to find that for my liking. Jaume Collet-Serra has directed a couple of really underrated films, including Jungle Cruise last year, which I really, really enjoyed. And I think he has a decently good eye for directing action. But for some odd reason, this movie felt overly reliant on using slow motion. Now, don't get me wrong. I love me a good slow motion sequence. It's my favorite trope in all of cinema. But there comes a point where you just use it way too much. Like literally every establishing shot for some big character coming in for a punch always in slow motion. I don't know, like that. And I gotta tell you guys, I unfortunately was not a fan of the way the movie was edited. It really did feel like a big ol' style WWE production with so many quick jump cuts here and there, just in little dialogue scenes. And the editing did get very distracting for me at a certain point, and it was just like, okay, can we just like stay with these characters for a bit? Now, keeping on the subject of characters, the mom and the son, pretty boring characters. Everybody with powers, especially Black Adam, great. But then we get our villain in this who's very power hungry, and aside from a decent Hellboy-like design, you're probably not going to remember a single thing about this villain, unfortunately. And that's a darn shame, especially after DC was on such a roll with the Batman and the Suicide Squad and all that. It just never really felt like Black Adam's villain stood a chance against Dwayne Johnson here. All in all, this is a fun movie theater experience. My auditorium was jam-packed and everybody was having a great time. They were laughing at a lot of the jokes in the script. Everybody was loving what Dwayne Johnson was doing and his very uncharacteristically stoic performance, but too many derivative plot elements at once and a couple of boring characters really hold this back from being an instant DC classic. I would say if you're a hardcore fan of the DCEU, those like 3 of you that are still left, definitely check this movie out and I think you'll have a fun time. But other than that, I don't think casuals will like this one very much, unfortunately. Unless you're a hardcore fan of Dwayne Johnson like me, then I don't know. You really don't have much of a reason to see this one. I'm going to give Black Adam a C+. If you do choose to see this, don't tell them Zack sent you. But let me know all of your thoughts on Black Adam down in the comment section below. What is your favorite Dwayne Johnson performance of all time? I would love to hear all of those thoughts and then some all down there. Because I love what I do here. I love discussing all things in movies and entertainment on the regular. If you're a new viewer, do consider becoming a subscriber. It's completely free. You can always change your mind later. Do me a favor, hit that notification bell as well. That way you guys always stay up to date. And feel free to hit that thumbs up on your way out. This is also a tremendous help to the channel. And stay tuned for more exciting videos hitting my channel very, very soon. November is looking jam-packed with The Fabelmans, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, all the way through to the end of the year. We are slammed. And I can't wait to share all of my opinions on these new movies, and I can't wait to hear your guys' opinions in return. And that's what makes it all the more fun for me. But guys, thank you all for your continuous support. It really, really does mean the world. With all that being said, back talk, commence.